Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're going to be checking out a little bit of Red Sun by DREAMCATCHER. Now, DREAMCATCHER, a really great group, and I've really enjoyed them. Korean group. Red Sun sounds like it's going to be a bit of a Japanese song. But anyway, as is now the format, since all of the problems we had with the previous channel and they got closed down when we had to reopen it, if you want to see my reaction, go click on the link in the description below because right now I'm going to do my review. I've just watched it. So if you want to see what I just watched with me, go check out the link in the description, which will take you to a player where you can see the review right now. Have you done it? Have you done it? Have you seen the song? Have you already done that? Are you ready to go? Am I okay to talk about the review? No spoilers? We're ready to go? Here we go. All right, so yeah. I really enjoyed that, as I think you guys probably tell if you were watching the reaction with me. It's a real testament to DreamCatcher, because I've got to admit, they moved into this new stage. I mean, they've always been very prolific. However, when we were looking, they brought out that song Scream, and I had to say Scream wasn't bad, but I just felt it was very uninspired. It was alright. You know, it's okay. It didn't play on any of their strengths particularly. It felt like it was kind of in the middle, going for a radio-friendly play. It had rocky elements, but didn't play to the strengths of their real sort of quality of, you know, being able to really get some rock integrity and some instrumental integrity. It didn't really quite play on that. And it wasn't quite a poppy enough song to play on their more poppy qualities. And then they came out with Endless Night, which seemed to completely drop all the pop elements and go totally rock. And I got to admit, not to be biased, I mean, I listen to pop and rock equally. That just worked. I mean, that was a brilliant song, catchy chorus, obviously designed for the Japanese market, but it was a great rock song. Now we're coming through with this new song, Red Sun, well, I believe it's new. And I don't know if this is an official music video. This looked more like it was just sort of a choreography-based video, just to release, so they had a visual for it online on YouTube. And I've got to be honest, before we even talk about the choreography, this is a straight-up pop song. There's none of their sort of rocky elements. There's no guitar or anything in this which is worth a note. And yet, this as a pop song is really good. I think what I really like about this is in the total polar opposite to Scream. This takes a lot of tropes that you would associate with modern, not so good pop music and makes them work brilliantly. Now, one of the things I really liked about this, again, it was going for the minimalist thing, and sometimes, DreamCatcher have done that before, but they do it very good, usually by contrasting between heavy and minimalist. In this case, it was just kind of minimalist all the way through, little tiny sounds, little staccato sounds here and there, little pizzicato sounds, and mainly focusing on the beat and a strong bass line, strong sort of synth bass line, keeping underneath it, kind of giving a very low end to the whole song. So, where to begin? What works so well about this is the fact that strong underpinning gave a lot of room for the top player, all the little sounds, which are mainly production-based, little sort of twinkling sounds, almost like a music box-esque sound, to sort of change, to shift around. And that's the thing which was interesting. It never stayed too static. We don't edit anything out on this channel. Never stayed too static. The changes were subtle, but they were there. They were in the production. They were in the little sort of twinkles of things. Nothing was so strong that it stood out as being like, this instrument is, the rhythm of the song. It's just all, like I said, little things coming and going and the way they moved around. That, along with the fact that the vocals nicely shifted. I really liked how they used the rap. Again, it's nice that they're shifting up the rap style that she does. I don't know if she writes her own lyrics or if someone writes them for her and therefore her flow is dictated to her or not. However, there was a little phase where I felt that her raps were getting a little bit samey, and it seems that they've come back with a little bit of a vengeance now. She's got more interesting delivery, more interesting flows, more interesting verses in these songs more recently. And this was another one. It was nice. It kind of went to a fairly sort of safe and simple place, but it just matched the song. It matched the beat really well. The chorus was the one thing that I really wanted to point out, though, because this is one of those ones where in the hands of maybe a lesser writer or certainly a lesser producer could have been really dire. It had a slight twinkling of what was happening in Scream or in some other songs where it was basically building up to the hook is not so much a chorus with a melody, it's just kind of a repeated thing that goes round, a repeated instrumental that goes round and maybe one line of vocal just to sort of, just to accent it, just to give you something for people to sing along or chant along or shout along or whatever. It played that particular game. However, what was nice about this is it worked. There was little vocal layers to it, so that there was more happening. So there was actually, although it was really only steering your ears towards a very simple free chord pattern and a very simple beat. So you could bob along and just sing that one line, just sing the Red Sun hook. Or shout it even. It had enough musicality that your ears were still able to feast on things happening. And there's a lot of musicality in this song, which is very subtle, and that's what I like about it. Like I say, on the surface, it just comes across as a very generic, minimalist pop song. But there's so much in there that I'm really dying to listen to this again. I'm really looking forward to listening to it again and listening to all those details and getting my ears more into it, because it's all very subtle, but there's so many nice little things happening in there, in the production as well. The vocals as well, the layering, and the fact that the hook stepped up. It didn't just go round and round and round and then off into the next verse. It started off simple, and then, you know, they added that extra, as is sometimes the pop trope, they added the little faster hat sort of sound to the percussion over the top, which kind of then sort of gives you the feeling that everything's filling in and getting a bit more pacey. And then they layered up the vocals, layered up the instrumental. This to me is a real demonstration of the exercise of doing minimalism right. It works. When the hook comes in, you feel glad it's there, even though it's not punching in the face, even though it's not announcing itself with a fanfare of it's time for the chorus. It just, when it comes in, you're like, yeah, this bit works. This is the bit where everything settles in and, you know, just the whole song comes together. So I really like this. This to me, it's more of what I expect from Dreamcatcher. Although it's not the Dreamcatcher thing that we usually talk about, the rock pop crossover. This cements more of the undertone. The thing which I said worked, that you could kind of tell when they were doing the Minx thing, which is obviously much more cheesy pop. It has the quality that you could hear in that, but so much more well developed. In that, yeah, it's pop, but it's pop with a little bit more effort and knowing and musicality put into it. And this is a real demonstration, more so than the Minx stuff, of how that really can show in this case as a song that, as tropey and poppy as it might be, I really like this. I would recommend it, and I will gladly listen to it again. I thought that was really cool at doing what it did. And a big shout out to the video. Look, I know with these groups, we all know that usually choreography and dancing skill gets more of their training time than vocals do. I'm aware of that. You were aware of that. We're all aware of that. Nothing against their vocals. Their vocals are usually, well, they're always really good. And, you know, they have a real distinct character. They all have their own vocal style as well, which makes it nice. However, we know they put a lot of effort into choreography with these types of groups. And wow, the choreography in this didn't just sort of feel like a usual sort of cool dance thing. I love the way that, I mean, I don't know anything about choreography, but I know what looks good. And I just love the way that everything was so perfectly executed. It looked like each movement each of them was doing was reacting to someone else or causing someone else to do a different move or whatever. It just felt really good. Like I said, I don't think this is supposed to be an official video or anything. I think it's just a choreography demonstration video. However, I thought that visually it worked really well just on the choreography. So big shout out to whoever did the choreography. Great job. Yeah, I really like this. It wasn't what I expected going in, and yet I come out very happy, which is always a good sign. I like to be both surprised and pleased. That's always the best sign. If something comes out being not what you had planned for, and yet therefore better than you expected, that is always to me the best thing. This is why I like groups like Bish, and this is why I like those sort of groups who really surprise me. There's some groups who you can rely on to always be high quality, but there's some groups who you can rely on to surprise you in a good way. And I'm starting to feel more and more that way the more Dreamcatcher we listen to. We've listened to quite a lot of their songs. I do apologise that obviously since we had to re-upload the channel, there's not much Dreamcatcher on the channel now. However, I will try and get some of those old reviews back up if I can, getting through all the copyright problems. Just, yeah, really enjoying my journey through. So as always, please do tell me if there's more Dreamcatcher songs you want me to check out. Get in the comments, tell me what you think, whether you know this band or not, whether you heard this song or not, whether you like it or not. We just like the discussion. Music's all about opinions, discussion. Get in that discussion with us. So like I said, if you want to suggest songs, you can do that on our Reddit, which is linked in the description below, as well as our Discord as well. Reddit's a better place if you want me to catch them quickly, though. Discord's great, though, for our 24/7 constantly going conversation about music. We've got fans of all groups, Dreamcatcher included, on there. And as well as all of that, big thank you to our Patreon supporters. You can join them, again, on another link in the description below, but thank you for keeping the channel going, keeping everything looking nice. As I always say, these posters, this lighting, this camera, this sound, this is all thanks to the wonderful, wonderful help that you guys give, so much appreciated. Anyway, for now, from Japan, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. And until I see you hopefully soon on the next one, for now, ciao, ciao.